Good evening and welcome to D&D Diagnosis and Dialysis. I'm your host, Emmanuel Ifeadike. In Diagnosis and Dialysis, we take our time to diagnose problems that are affecting people in the society with a view of preferring solution. The solution we call dialysis. Right? We want to talk about the challenges of manhood. We see a lot of population explosion and you see a lot of young boys today literally doing nothing. They are not developing or learning any skill. They don't have any capacity. A lot of them are completely skillless, that even if you want to help, it becomes very difficult to help, and they think that money is what is the only means of helping a lot of people. Some don't have character, some also do not have not built anything. They didn't go to school, they don't know anything. That's why today you see a lot of young people and you see them driving keke, and when they are doing that, they are doing it with all their strength and all their might. You sit down and want to see what their future will be. It's very painful. Some first class brain, but all of them, they are just doing what others are doing. So we have a lot of crisis. That is why we talk about crisis of manhood. I want to say this: if you're a young man, listen, the law of times and season means that you must, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, you must know how to sit down and envision your future. Nigeria is no longer the way it used to be. We have systemic failure, we have government failure, we have institutional failure, and that's why you see high crime rate. There's a lot of people that are able, but they are incapacitated because they never prepared to meet their future. So by this program, I want to encourage a lot of young people, particularly if you're a man, to know that to sit down and to know the cost content of being a man, because one day a headmaster was once a schoolboy, one day you become a man, one day you get married and you raise children. So if you're already poor as a young person, in the sense that you're so poor that you don't develop, you didn't learn any skill, you didn't go to school, you don't have any capacity, any competence to do anything, it shows that your future is not secure, it's not safe. That's why by this program we are saying that a lot of young people, they develop into manhood without preparation, and if you don't do that, you notice that you have a turbulent season and you may die before your time. Ecclesiastes 7:17, you may be dejected and you may be depressed, you may be confused or confounded. It can put you into all kinds of ganging, into stealing, into robbery. You may also even killing yourself. It's because you did not prepare for your time and you did not maximize your moment. That's why we said we want to help you to come out of this crisis. How do I come out and how do I prepare for my future as a young man? Number one, first of all, you must know, you must take decision that you want to excel in life. Then you ask the question, why? You know why is very important. Why will give you a drive? Because you don't want to be poor, you don't want to be a beggar, you don't want if you are married, your children will become beggars, or you don't want to be a vagabond or a prodigal. Now when you have dealt with the why factor, it enables you now to sit down. A lot of people don't sit down, they are always standing, doing what they want, what others are doing. As a person, you need to be sober, be vigilant. 1 Peter 5:7 says, be sober, be vigilant. Being sober means that you have to give time for devotion, time for consecration, particularly in the virgin hour of the morning. When you begin to think about life, you also appreciate God, you begin to thank God, and also commit your way unto the Lord. Proverbs chapter 3, so that God will take pleasure and delight in you and begin to help you. Remember, cursed is the man that trusts in a man whose breath is in his nursery. A lot of people trust in men and friendship, and you may be a very popular person, you're running from pillar to post, everybody is hailing you, but there must be a time when you stand alone. That's why our beginning is that, like the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 1 verse 9, it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So please fear God, and God gives you wisdom that you begin to live your life well. Now a lot of people have family crisis. Maybe you're coming from a dysfunctional family, or you're coming from a family where poverty has become a dynasty and everybody goes there to become poor, and you have accepted that. No, you may be the one that will provoke the change in your family. You're your greatest asset. So build on and develop your human capital, so that you, in terms of civility, in terms of courtesy, in terms of integrity, in terms of diligence, in terms of hard work, you have already built up yourself. So you see, when you have built yourself in that position, you notice that already, even without money, you're already a profit to many people. You're already a success. A lot of people don't build themselves, and because it's who you are that commands what come to you. If you work very hard, you become a doctor. Patients come to you. Or likewise, if you work very hard and you become very skillful and and truthful in your business, people begin to come to you. So please overcome your family shortcoming. Everybody have one. It may be because your father died or you don't have a mother, nobody mentored you. You must sit down and know your area of flaws and default and begin to walk out from that place. That's your worst case scenario. You tell yourself that this is the worst I could ever be, therefore I'm walking up myself for a change. By so doing, you overcome every problem that has to do with your background. It doesn't matter. There's a young man in the Bible in Judges chapter 9. His name is Jephthah. He was rejected because the mother is a prostitute, but he believed in himself and believed in God, and then God helped him and he developed capacity and strength, began to move with a lot of people because, he that walketh with the wise shall be wise, the companion of fools shall be destroyed. When there were problems, because Jephthah was now a mighty and a strong man of valor, they came for him, and because of that he excelled and he began to rule the people. So don't let your background destroy you, and don't also accept failure. If you fall once, rise up. If a righteous man falls 7 times, he will rise again. The next one, again, we have a lot of people, financial crisis. Also, it affects a lot of men, and it comes with a sibling problem of sickness, with infirmity and with disease. That's why we want, first of all, for people not to think that money is everything. That's why we see a lot of people, they struggle for money. That's why the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 6, it says in verse 6 that godliness with contentment is great gain. And if you go down to 10, it says, charge them that will be rich. So they fall into diverse trial and temptation. So don't set money as your goal. Set relationship as your goal. You begin to see that as you do that, people can help you. People can also enlarge your financial capacity. When they notice that you're trustworthy, when people begin to respect you, to know that you're truthful, then you may not even need money to start up that business. So a lot of people, because of financial crisis, they are dejected and they go more deep down. Some go into alcoholism, some are very desperate, they cannot be truthful, you cannot entrust them with anything. Now, if you're a young boy and you're already following that path, you're treading that path, watch it out. If you don't take care, you'll be doomed. That is why this word is coming to you, that you try to now to build yourself, build contact and also ideas that will make you rich, because a lot of men die before their time, and a lot of men, they are poor because some complain that they don't have anybody to help them. It's as a result of the fact that you have not expressed yourself, even to connect yourself with people that can also give you ideas and power and connectivity and connection to make wealth. You have to get to that point. The next one again is you must also make sure that in issues, crisis, a lot of people, health crisis, managerial crisis, about their health, about their personality. That when you see a young boy, you have not grown, you don't have any saving, but every time you are in a club, every time you're drinking beer, it's going to affect your health. Every time you're running from one girl to another, you don't have any savings. You're hurting yourself, you're hurting your future. Now that's why we said learn how to save money, learn how to manage your thing, manage your affairs, so that you can live a fulfilling and a better life as a young person. If you do not do that, you have a problem in the future. You may get infected by sickness or by disease that will be a lifetime sickness or disease, because a lot of things are happening now. Remember, there is HIV, there is STDs and many sickness and disease. That's why we want to encourage a lot of young men. No delay gratification, delay pleasure. Don't go for sex without marriage. Don't go for for wealth without price. A lot of things, That is why we are saying it's very important, so that if a woman has problem, you can always cry to people. A woman can beg, can call for help at any point in time. But for a man at a particular age, it becomes very difficult. At a particular age, you have outgrown learning a skill, becoming an apprentice. At a particular age, nobody can admit you again to learn the skill. At a particular age again, you notice that if you don't have money, it becomes very difficult to beg. Men can give you beer, they can give you food to eat, but to give money by way of loan or by way of assistance, what they will give to you is just money for food and food for the belly, both for destruction. That's why we said every man must take time to calibrate his time, calibrate his program, calibrate his future, envision his future, and take care of yourself, take care of your relationship, take care of your family problems, and also all the crises that come. Because if every friendship with the world is enmity with God, we see a lot of people, James chapter 4 verse 4, you want everybody to be your friend, you want to be popular, you keep running from pillar to post. As soon as you get into all that, you see you begin to have a problem. You may be popular, but once maybe you create fun and people laugh with you and all those, but when the chips are down, nobody comes to your aid again. If you're sick, then you may easily die because no money for medication. That's why you see a lot of people. Why do people go into rituals, occultism? Why do people go into kidnapping, into ganging, into stealing, into raping? It's as a result of frustration. I'm saying this to a lot of young men. Say a lot of people never will that, but circumstances overwhelm them because they were not prepared. When preparation meets opportunity, success is guaranteed. So prepare your life. Don't live your life by chance. Live your life by programming. Live your life by principles. Principles are applicable everywhere. If you work very hard, you will not starve, you will not beg. Those are principles. If you work on your personality and your character, you notice that you become trustworthy and people can trust you and people can relate with you. If you work on your relationship and you're truthful and honest and you're respectful, people begin to help you. And through that process, you begin to excel and succeed in life. If you don't do this, you'll have a problem. A lot of young men already have a problem now, and that problem is lingering and following them and driving them to their future. And if they don't resolve it, you will get poor. If you get poor and then get married, you go back to dynasty of poverty and hardship and difficulty. Remember, money is a defense, but wisdom money is a defense, wisdom is a defense, but the excellency of wisdom or knowledge is that it gives life to those that have it. Ecclesiastes 7:12. So get wisdom, get money, get God, and you notice that you excel as a young man. Poverty will not catch you, but a little sleep, a little slumber, a little delaying, as it is in Proverbs chapter 6. Poverty will come upon you as a thief in the night, and help will be far from you. I've been and remain your host, Emmanuel Ifeadike. I'll meet you same time, same station. God bless you.